Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a flight in the HondaJet from the Big Apple all the way to the land of the Kennedys in Hyannis, Massachusetts. For practice, the jet Tenant rep, Don Catalano, will hand fly an ILS approach. Stay tuned until the very end to see if he can do it as well as the autopilot.
Welcome aboard, everybody, on the iOptimize Realty HondaJet. And today we're doing another practice flight, flying from Long Island to Hyannis.
Taxi to hangar 31 via Bravo, hold short of Alpha. Bravo short of Alpha.
So as we're taxiing, I'm going to finish my checklist here on the left side. And flaps are set for takeoff. Trim is set at 4. Well, we want 4. This is the trim over here. And the plane is so smart that if I didn't set these things correctly and I line up on the runway, it will give me a takeoff configuration error. We're making a right turn here to taxiway Alpha. We're going to taxi down to the runway 32. Speed brake is retracted. Negative CAS messages. That's the crew alerting system, and that would display here. Navigation is set. Today, something different. We almost always go IFR, but it's a beautiful day.
On the jet left on Alpha, hangar 31, jet C50.
So today we're flying visual flight rules, and so my initial climb will be to about 2,000 feet. I can actually go up to 3,000, but maybe I'll set it for 2,500. I have to go around some airspace, and then we'll be free to climb up and out and go direct to Hyannis. And it's an absolutely gorgeous day. And boy, we could use that nice balmy temperature today in the 60s. So navigation is set. Got a next to flight guidance, and toll data is takeoff and landing data. And that's set. That's right here. That's our speed. So our V1 speed, which is a speed that if anything goes beep or any kind of anomalies, below that speed, we stop on the runway. After that, we take it in the air. Our rotation speed, or VR, is 109. And we're getting to the end of the runway here. We're gonna just take our time. As I always like to say, slow is fast, and fast is actually slow. We like to do things methodically. Okay, changing this screen to traffic, and I'm gonna go ahead and activate that. There's my traffic here. Go ahead and operate that, and put on the 2-mile ring initially. That's set up there. Gonna go full screen on that. I'll make sure I'm showing my airspace, and I am. Okay, flight guidance is good. Hold is set. Takeoff briefing. Taking off runway 32. If we have any engine failure on takeoff, aileron and rudder to keep it straight and do a normal takeoff. Gear will come up, and at 500 feet I'll engage the autopilot. I'm going to set that right now. I'm going to set heading mode on the autopilot. And filch. And here's my little checklist for engine out on takeoff, which we practice in the simulator all the time. That's the only time we get a chance to do it, which is good. So positive rate to gear up. Then I'm going to climb at V2, which is 116. 500 feet autopilot on. I'm going to continue my climb to 1,500 feet at 130 knots. I'll bring my flaps up and climb out at 140. And then I would, since my fuel isn't too heavy, I would come back around and land here at the field.
HondaJet 0, Delta Charlie, if you're still up ground, and hold short runway 32 and contact tower.
Yep, going to tower, 0 Delta Charlie.
F19er.
Republic Tower, HondaJet 430 Delta Charlie, now ready for takeoff, holding short, runway 32.
HondaJet 430 Delta Charlie, tower, hold short, runway 32, traffic landing.
Holding short for the traffic landing, runway 32, HondaJet 0 Delta Charlie, thank you. So you can see the traffic coming in over there. Otherwise, we're ready to take off. Everything's in the green. nice fun flight. There's our landing traffic, and then we'll go right after him.
HondaJet 0 Delta Charlie, runway 32, line up await, traffic 2 mile base of sky.
0 Delta Charlie, line up and wait, roger the traffic.
Cessna 590, extend down one, I'll call your base.
Extend down when you got the base 590.
Cessna 04 Whiskey, extend down one, I'll call your base.
Block my base 04 Whiskey.
Oh, line up. Line up and wait means exactly what it sounds like. You line up and you wait. We're watching that plane take off in front of us. He's probably going to do a right pattern.
HondaJet 0 Delta Charlie, northeast approved, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 0 Delta Charlie, thank you.
Cessna 53 Charlie, you're clear for touching off.
Bring power up to TOTO. And there it is.
Cessna 590, you're going to be overflown by a Hawker jet about 1.5 miles to your east, down at 1900 to 1600.
2 good engines. And we are V1, we are V
Cessna
rotate.
590 tower.
And there we go.
Looking out for the
Gear comes up.
Rockband 221, traffic ahead to your right at Cessna at 1,000 feet. They're in a downwind extending. You're going to overfly them.
Copy, looking for traffic, Rockband 221. 590, got the traffic inside.
590, thanks. You're going to follow them.
Oh, traffic, 590. Public Tower, Cessna 6097 Golf, over North 4 information Alpha, for full stop.
6097 Golf, Republic Tower, right downwind for runway 32.
Right down 32,
We're starting a right turn to the north.
People at Oscar 9004 Whiskey would like to change to touch and go.
04 Whiskey, roger. Extend down.
Extend down, 04 Whiskey.
Rockband 221 should be overflying that Cessna now. Once you're on the final, you can descend out of 1,600 feet. You're clear to land runway 32. You're number 1 to the field.
Clear to land, Rockband, runway 32, Rockband 221.
Cessna 590, follow the Hawker and caution wait takeoff.
Follow the Hawker 590.
And Public Tower, Cherokee 842 on the extended downwind.
Cherokee 842, extend downwind. It's going to be a couple more miles.
Extend down 842.
And we're just high and flying out of the terminal area. Keeping it around 2,000 feet. I say around, it's a little bit bumpy. Pull some power.
Republic Tower, Cherokee 357 Papa, 2005, 2,000 feet south of Crabtree, looking in for full stop.
Cherokee 57 Papa, Republic Tower, straight in for runway 32.
It's good to hand fly. It's
runway 32.
good to know how to use the autopilot. You want to be able to do both.
Cessna 590, you're clear to land runway 32.
Climb up to 2,500 feet.
Cessna
here.
0 for Whiskey, turn your base, you're clear for touch and go, make left close traffic.
Turning base, left close traffic, 04 Whiskey.
And I'm out of the JFK airspace.
Wind check, touch and go 04 Whiskey.
Wind 29010.
Crossing
Cessna 532.
over the Long Island Sound.
50, turning, extend downwind.
Traffic, 1 o'clock, same altitude, 2 miles.
Okay, got to climb for that traffic. Traffic is no longer a factor. Okay, we're going to turn towards our destination. Now we're free to climb up to 17.5. Still hand flying. I've set the power to what's called MCT, maximum continuous thrust.
Cherokee 842, turn your base, you're clear for touch and go, you're following the Cessna off your left.
17.5 in the altitude pre-select.
Turning base, Cherokee 842, following the set.
We're gonna go direct to Hyannis.
We're going to Republic Jet Center, no.
Rockband 221, you can make a left turn on taxiway
Make a
Bravo,
right turn
taxi
now.
via Bravo, Alpha, Papa, you can remain this frequency.
Well, about
I'm going to throw on the autopilot here in a second.
Republic Tower, Skyline 4697 November, it's top of Coptree Bridge, 1500.
Just checking everything before I do.
Skyline, what's the numbers again?
Autopilot is
4697
on.
November.
MCT.
Skyline 4697 November.
Go to our checklist. Gear is retracted. Your damper is on. Oh, flight level change. There we go.
Rock band 221, that
Sure, she's
session's
climbing.
gonna hold for you, you can enter the ramp.
And she is. Your damper is on. Flaps are retracted. Thrust levers are MCT. Flight guidance is where we want it.
Skyline
Ice protection
97
not
November,
required.
straight in for runway 32.
Straight for
And
32,
we don't have to listen
97
to
November.
Republic. All right, just to continue our briefing. So we're going direct. 1,000 feet to go on the altimeter. The GPS
Speed target.
guidance is
3.9 Hotel
what
Romeo,
we're
turn left
using.
heading 24.
And it said speed target because we can actually go up to 270 knots indicated, but we'll actually be doing much faster over the
Flight
ground.
9. New York approach,
All right, the
good evening,
17.5.
1 Golf, 12,000,
All right, and we'll check the pressurization. The pressurization is very good.
East 1, the Golf Heavy, New York approach, flighting 250, vector ILS, runway 31, right approach.
Okay, that's good. Going through the rest of my checklist.
250, vectors for the
Autopilot
approach,
engaged.
31, right, Jordanian 61 Golf.
Okay, we don't need that. This checklist on the left, as I said before, is absolutely terrific.
265 heavy to center maintain 5,000.
So
About a 265 heavy, down to
pull some
5,000.
power. I'll try to get it close to 270, but not over 270. On the right side here, this is our traffic, and that gave us an alert before, which is good.
265 heavy, traffic ahead of you, about 8 miles, sending out 5,000 feet for a green balloon. 265 heavy, we'll look.
A green balloon is traffic for that airliner. Oh boy. All right, so our ground speed is respectable, 407 knots. Our true airspeed is 342, so that means we have a tailwind of 65 knots. Believe it or not, I'm going to start working on the descent. It's going to happen sooner than you can believe, and the whole thing with jets is to plan in advance.
265 heavy to center maintain 4,000, contact
Balloon
final
is flying a little
132.4, look out for the balloon.
Look out for the balloon for that.
265 heavy down to 4,000, and say the freak again, please. 265 heavy, 1324. 132.4, down to 265
Landing
heavy.
data. Okay.
3 Mike Juliet, contact New York approach 12407, good day.
We've loaded the weather. Wind is 244 degrees, 17 knots. Right, we're going to use, I have to put that in. Okay, procedure. Approach. Hyannis. Maybe for practice we'll do an ILS. Yeah. Vectors. Now I'm going to load the approach chart by just hitting preview. Put it on the left side. Let me put it on the right side. Go back over here, charts. And I want the airport diagram. I want the approach first. And I want ILS 24. Make sure we're talking about Hyannis. Hyannis, Cape Cod. Yes, runway 24, instrument landing system. All right, and we're going to push this button, and that turns this into like, well, that's control. And this is the display. So we'll brief this approach. Okay. ATIS. We'll go ahead and load the ATIS in there now.
Train 261, Golf Heavy to center maintain 5,000.
ATIS.
5,000 feet, Jordanian
Enter that.
261 Golf.
Thanks for that. And let's go ahead and load in tower where we're at it. Destination. Tower.
Virgin 900 Juliet Heavy near.
Okay, we got ATIS, we got tower. ATIS is the automated information system.
Juliet, we're maintaining 12,000, just past Calvin at 250 knots.
Okay, coming down. So
Virgin 900 Juliet Heavy near approach.
we're going to go past it and then
vector
swing
ILS,
around.
31 right approach.
Okay, you're heading to 250 for 31
Because we're
knots,
coming from this direction. beautiful day, but if it was a cloudy day, we could get down to 293 feet, and then we'd have to see the runway. So the runway touchdown zone elevation is 43 feet. So it gets you almost 200 feet above the runway.
Virgin 9er Juliet Heavy to 17, 9,000.
So we're going to probably come around from the left, come in, intercept that, and then come down the ILS. They'll probably give us vectors to final, but I'm going to ask for the ILS for practice. And the initial altitude is above 1,700 feet. They'll probably give us 1,700 feet, but we could be at 2,000. That line underneath the 1,700 says you can't go below it. We're going to come in here, make a left turn, and then come down vertically to 1,400 feet. We'll pick up the glide slope, intercept, and then ride that down. And as I've said, if you caught the video I did on the avionics of the HondaJet, I talk about it's kind of like an ice cream cone. You're getting, you're coming down a funnel. And, you've got horizontal guidance and vertical guidance. So, just switch this freak. Not really talking to him.
Approach 48 Fox 2 would like to start off slow VFR descent down to 2,000.
I'll actually set up the approach freak for Hyannis.
Maintain VFR, 8 Fox 2.
I'll say again for 48.
It's maintain VFR, altitude your discretion, thanks.
Approach. Go ahead, X for that. When you hit X for it, it puts it past standby right to active. So we're listening to Hyannis approach. I'm going to be talking to them pretty soon. I've briefed the approach plate. And I'll put in the minimum altitude 293. Entering that. Back to this. Procedure. Hyannis. No, not localizer. Back one. ILS 24, vectors 293, enter that, so that's in the minimums. I can put in bogey too. I can put in bogey as the initial approach fix. And we'll go ahead and load that. So it's got runway 24, we've done the weather. Runway, it knows it's runway 24 because we put in the approach. Landing configuration, ice protection will be off. Landing data. Our VREF speed, which is the speed at which we want to cross the touchdown point within 5 knots, will be 110. So between 110 and 115. I'd like to get as close as possible, but you don't want to be under that speed. We're going to have a headwind of 17 knots, 0 crosswind. The wind is basically down the runway, or is down the runway. We're going to go ahead and accept that. When I hit that, it's going to post over here. I'm going to accept it, and my speeds now are posted. Very good. Good little HondaJet. Okay. So I could throw the moving map on that screen. And the TOD is top of descent. So the plane, now that I put in the approach, the plane's smart enough to say, hey, you better start going down by that point, which isn't that far. So that's why we do all this much in advance. It happens quick on a short flight. Matter of fact, let me just go back to my checklist here. I do that by just holding this button. Landing field elevation. Just want to check that. 54 feet, that's good. Anti-ice not required. We don't have to transition the altimeters because we didn't go above 18,000. That's all. This looks good. No CAS messages. The next thing will be flaps. Okay, I'm gonna hold on that for a bit. And let me bring the moving map back to this. But it is a beautiful day. So we're on the pilot side window. We're over the Connecticut coast. Out the front window, you can see Connecticut, and coming up is Massachusetts. And to the right here is Martha's Vineyard, and then Nantucket. So this is Massachusetts and Cape Cod. And that's where we're going to go for what's going to be a lunch, but now it's going to be a nice early dinner. And good plane practice too.
Good night.
Start slowing it down here a little bit.
Charlie flighting 070, vectors ILS 24 approach.
070, vectors for the ILS 24 approach for HondaJet 430 Delta Charlie. Okay, 070. We go heading mode. So these gray needles are the ILS. And we'll go to the approach and we can say activate vectors to final.
0 Delta Charlie flighting 060.
0600 Delta Charlie, thank you. 060 on the heading bug. And our approach is active there. Turn off the clutter on the map. There we go. And I'm going to split the screen. We'll put up the approach plate there, the right side. And there we are on the approach. Zoom it in a little bit. And I got to slow us down too. To 200 knots. Go to 195. Pull some power. So we can keep the descent. Looks like we're going to need those speed brakes, I think. I'm going to set the altitude to 1700. Yeah, we're going to probably need the speed brakes, but we'll say here. We're at flight idle. Let's see if it goes down fast enough. Yeah, we're going 1,500 feet a minute. Yeah, I'm going to throw out the speed brakes, increase our rate of descent. Speed brakes are out. And you'll see the rate of descent increase.
Approach, Archer 471 Charlie with you.
Airport's out the right side.
471 Charlie Boston, roger. The vineyard just closed, showing the altimeter 2985. 0 Delta Charlie is 3.5 miles, final approach 6, turn right heading 210, maintain VFR cleared out 24 pitch.
210 and the heading, maintain VFR cleared for the approach 0 Delta Charlie, thank you. 210 on the heading. Okay. Okay, we got glide slope is showing up, and we're getting green needles. Okay.
0 Delta Charlie, contact Hyannis Tower, we'll see you later.
Thanks for the approach, 0 Delta Charlie, over to tower. Okay, good. Gear's coming down. Hyannis Tower, HondaJet 430 Delta Charlie, inbound on the ILS 24 approach, 1,500 feet, just about a bogey.
November 430 Delta Charlie, Hyannis Tower, runway 24, clear to land.
24, clear to land, 0 Delta Charlie. Okay, landing gear is down, speed brakes are retracted. Next thing is flaps, next notch of flaps. I'm going to go ahead to full landing flaps. Landing flaps are being deployed and in transit, and now we have to get to VREF. I'm going to go ahead and punch off the autopilot and hand fly it for practice. Ooh, still wind there. Okay. Nose up a little bit. Okay. Hand flying the approach now. power dampener is away because the autopilot is off. Bring my head down so I don't look out. I'm not going to cheat. And I got my needles perfectly lined up. I have to slow it down a hair. Down. Down. Up a little bit. Up, 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 up. Up a little bit, power. Good. It's like playing a big video game. Just nailing those needles, making them not moving. Okay. Down, down a little bit. Power out.
500.
500 feet. Gotta get the VREV. Okay. Down a little bit. Come left. Left and down. Right on VREV down. Here. Okay. A little bit of power. Okay. And coming out of the plane and transitioning. Okay. Okay, gears down, final check. I'll slow it down though here. Get to VREF. Come in, a little bit of power. I can feel that wind. Okay.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Power coming out.
10.
Okay, center line. Nose is down.
4,000.
Not too hard. The brakes, we got plenty of runway. That was a good landing.
Thanks for joining us for this quick flight from the Big Apple to Hyannis, Massachusetts. We love to bring these videos to you, and if you like watching them, please be sure to like and subscribe so you'll get notified when new videos are available on our channel. Again, thanks for watching.